OK, let's have a look at the heavyweights. I mean, obviously, it's the marquee division that everyone always focuses on. There's lots of other good fights going on and potential ones coming up. And obviously, we've got Anthony Yarde fighting soon. But we've got an update in the heavyweight division, which is Parker versus Wardley. This is a good fight. This is a fight I really like. Really? I don't think it's just a case of Fabio goes into a fight where he's got, a shot to nothing, because if he loses, people expect him to. He's still got a WBA interim opportunity to lose. You like this fight?
Love it. WBA interim, WBO interim. Joe Parker needs a fight after the sort of mess out in Riyadh when Martin Bakole came in at late notice. We wanted to see the Dubois fight, and I just feel that he's waiting for that Usyk opportunity. He's getting better and better under Andy Lee. He's reinventing himself, Joe Parker. He needs this. Fabio Wardley, what an opportunity. Sure. Yes, he got out of jail against Justice Hooney, losing round after round. He's got that right hand. He's got the power. He's got absolutely nothing to lose.
Joe Parker hits harder than Justice Hooney, though, doesn't he?
He does, and he's a better fighter. He's a more experienced guy, Joe Parker, and he obviously goes in favourite. But Fabio is undefeated. He's an incredible character.
Finds a way to win.
He does, and he's got extraordinary power
this is the best version of Joe Parker now,
which you can take. Look, he stopped Fraser Clark early. He stopped Justice Hooney late. He's going to be threatening all the way through. But Joe Parker is, I think, a terrific fighter.
Yeah, it's all about levels for me. And I just think that, obviously, Wardley, in his last fight, was sadly exposed in the boxing element,
and if Justice Hooney could hit harder, it would have been gone, wouldn't it?
We have to give both these guys respect, though, because they're both interim champions. You go to put it on the line without a title on the line and go, I love that. That's what the game's all about. And that's what I love about Wardley. You go, he knows his underdog. He knows his underdog. But you go, I'm stepping up to the challenge. You've got to respect the guy for that.
No, 100%. You know, he's got the balls of a brass monkey, isn't he? He's so ballsy, and he'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, and that's to be admired. And this is his chance.
And it's a great fight.
Yeah,
it's a fans fight. It's a fans fight.
It's a great fight at the O2. Opportunity knocks for Fabio Wardley, and Joe Parker needs this before the big one.
It's probably more risk and less reward for Joe Parker out of this fight. Sure. Where are you on the argument that we've had this discussion between him and Duke and Spencer about Usyk slightly shafting Parker? We've seen him do his lovely little dance the other day, and ultimately, whilst telling the WBO, I know I've been in the camp which says if anyone's got the currency to say I'm not fit, then he's got it. But is there an element of he's lost out the Dubois fight, he's had to fight Bakole, and it wasn't much of a credible fight, was it, for him? It was, and now he's being put into a situation where he's got to fight Fabio Wardley when he really should be fighting for a world title. There's not a part of you that thinks, come on, Usyk, you write an article in the Mail about how much of an opportunity Anthony Joshua gave you. Why aren't you giving Parker his opportunity?
I feel rules and mandatories as well are put in place for a reason.
Well,
that's it. You can't just go, because you're an excellent champion, we'll break those rules, we'll let them go.
I feel for Joe Parker, but for me, Oleksandr Usyk's in another stratosphere. I mean, what he did against Daniel Dubois at Wembley, he took the Wembley crowd as well. He's been unbelievable for the sport. So I think he does what he wants to do, really, at the moment. Joe Parker needs a fight. Fabio Wardley's the perfect opponent. Let's see what happens October the 25th, and let's hope Usyk and Parker fight early in 26. The one thing I really want Oleksandr Usyk to do before he retires, a bit like Katie Taylor, I want Katie to fight at Croke Park, massive event in Ireland. She deserves the homecoming. And let's hope that there is enough time and peace in the Ukraine for Oleksandr Usyk to go and perform in front of his people before he hangs up.
Absolutely.
And I don't mind if it's against Parker or anybody else, but Joe deserves the opportunity to fight for the world title.
Frank Warren joined me in the studio the other day. Let's have a little listen to what he had to say about Daniel Dubois.
Fight that we did actually try to make the fight between him and Joe Parker. And unfortunately, he's injured. He has an injury, so he won't fight. I doubt if he'll fight again this year, but he'll certainly fight again at the end of January, February next year.
There was a suggestion that he was injured going into the fight, wasn't there?
Well, I've heard that, but, I heard it after the fight. Yeah. So I've got, with the greatest respect to everybody, it means nothing. If you're injured, don't fight. Don't fight. Don't want excuses afterwards. It's a waste of time. It means nothing.
How do you meet to the split with Don Charles, Frank? Where'd you stand on that?
I don't. Excuse me. They had 3 really good wins together, exceptional wins, and I don't particularly like fighters changing trainers, jumping from here to there. I need my fighters to be settled, knowing what's going on and working together. But I'm not taking the punches.
Right, Duke. So we're not going to see Daniel Dubois this year. How do you feel, or what do you think his rebuild should look like? Does he take the winner of Parker versus Wardley?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think Daniel Dubois will make a massive impact on the heavyweight scene, given the opportunity, and that's the most likeliest fight for him. You might need one before that, but obviously once he's got himself together again with the new coach, who's his new coach?
Tony
Don't
Sims.
know yet. Has it been announced to Tony Sims? Has it been confirmed? Is it?
Is that confirmed?
Do you think Daniel Dubois at this stage is better than Parker or?
I know the proof of being the pudding when they fight.
Yeah.
They? We don't know.
Or Wardley. Would you rank Daniel?
We'd love to have seen Parker Dubois in February, wouldn't
But we don't know the damage that's been
And who did you
done
pick for that,
after
Spence? Because I think the argument that we had, answering that question now because we've got new information and we always process new information, but when we were talking about Parker versus Dubois in January, we were all down the route of Daniel Dubois, weren't we?
Absolutely.
Wrecking Machine.
We thought he was going to be the next dominant figure.
Frank was also talking about Moses Itauma headlining in Manchester in December. Got wind of any notion of who the opponent might be, Spencer?
I think it will be someone likely to be someone because they're not going to go top tier with him because he's not there yet. They're going to go
if you don't,
let's go Kubrat Pulev.
It's not going to be a is it? It's going to be someone.
Kubrat Pulev, Jermaine Franklin. It's going to be someone of that stature. That's where it's going to be.
Franklin, Miller.
A
Jagba, Pulev, Franklin, Miller, something like that. Moses will fight in December, and he is just so
Is this
exciting.
the last one now? Is this the last dance before he goes big time?
I think he's young, Simon. There is absolutely no rush. He needs rounds. I was talking to Ben Davison the other day. They've got to find somebody, a couple of opponents, to give him rounds before they really go for it. Because once they're there, there's no turning back.
So if he fights a Jagba in December and dismantles him like he's dismantled everywhere else, are you saying there's another fight that's needed, another level it needs to go to?
But potentially, we started the whole show talking about the tragedy of Ricky Hatton. What Frank Warren did with Ricky is he managed him and developed it in the right way so that he got his opportunity against Kostas at the right time. Everyone wants to see Moses in with the big guys, with Usyk, the Parkers now. Just take your time. Learn the business. He's done it in sparring. He needs ring time. And I think a couple more opponents, like a Franklin, like a Miller, like a Hergovich, would be perfect.
And if he disposes of one of those guys in his next fight, then you're looking at like an Andy Ruiz Jr., someone like that. You go, that will give him round.
Good shout.
And that is for sure. And I think that's where you have to go with him.
Well, they saw Wilder and Ruiz, didn't we?
Frank, I remember speaking to Frank out in Saudi, actually, and we were talking about Moses and his direction, his journey with him and what he was going to do with him. He said, not that he doesn't think that he could beat Anthony Joshua on them, but once he does, he's there. Yep. And it's all about, Frank is great. He's the best out there at developing fighters. Ricky Hatton boxed for the British title in his 25th fight against John Thaxton. They let him, because he turned pro at 18. They let him build up. He got, he got the experience before going in there and boxing for a title. And you've got to do that with Moses. Not saying he can't win a world title now, but then you've got to stay there. And you've got to do that, Duke, at the right time, haven't you?
Yeah, before he fought Dillian, I said to Frank, Moses told me he wants Usyk. He says, it's great that he wants him. Yeah. Let me do my job.
And that's right. You mentioned him, Anthony Joshua. What's all this about then? Calling out Tyson Fury on Instagram?
Well, look, we've talked about this in recent weeks now, haven't we, with Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, where they're at, what fights they've got left, what route they take, who do they take. They need to fight each other because that's where they're at in their careers. They're both getting on now. You don't want to fight these young lions that are coming through, the Moses Itaumas and all that. You don't want to go near that. You want to now look at let's define this modern era.
Isn't the real reason, Spence, the real reason that if you put Anthony Joshua in with half a live one, he could get knocked out.
Absolutely.
And ultimately there'll be no Tyson Fury.
We're talking about that with Tyson Fury as well, and that's what I'm saying. That this is the biggest fight
Less so Fury, though. Fury hasn't been blasted out by
but we're still at this stage. You go, the biggest fight commercially in boxing right now is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Let's make it happen before something happens and we don't get the fight.
Right, let's hear Lennox Lewis talking about it.
There's obviously going to be chats at this stage of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and where they're at in their careers. What do you think both of those two gentlemen should do next?
They should fight each other. I think the British public is waiting for that fight. I mean...
will they regret it when they get to 60 if they don't do it?
For me, my regret would have been not fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah, exactly.
He was incarcerated for a little bit, and we didn't know what he was going to do, if he was going to come out, if he was going to fight. He came out, he fought. Now, people know the difference between me and him. Now there's no, guessing history.
You got to bookend the era, didn't you, basically?
Right.
You got to close off the era like you did with Klitschko as well.
Right.
You closed the era. There was no doubt about anything.
I think for the British fighters, they need to close the era too.
Yeah.
In that sense. But if they don't want to, it's up to them. They're the kings for their what they want to do.
World moves on. One thing we can always rely on, and things change. Is there any danger that the British public are going to get bored of waiting for this fight between Anthony and Tyson?
Of course there is, because we've been talking about this fight for years now, and people do get bored of it and they do want to move on. We've got a new generation of heavyweights coming through, so I think they need to make it now, or it's never going to happen.
The public are already bored, waiting for Joshua and Fury, which has been spoken about for years. I don't know why they haven't fought up until now, but they should have done it.
Fury, Joshua Fury has to happen, and it has to happen in the first part of 2026. There is now a time.
Do you think it will happen?
Yes, I do, and I think it will happen. Like Lennox was talking there, and the one that got away from him was Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe in the amateurs at the Olympics, and we never saw that fight happen.
No warm-up fights.
We never saw Calzaghe-Froch. We never saw Hatton against Junior Witter. Fights that go, that pass us by. We have to see Fury and Joshua.
So no warm-up fights.
Spencer's right. It wraps up the generation. It wraps it up. They don't want to go near a Itauma or anyone like that. No. They've got to fight each other. They need it. The British public need it. 2 fights, please, 2026.
That should be the fight next for both of them.
For both of them.
OK. We'll wait and see.
Warm-up fight.
Time will tell. We've got the Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn press launch this week. No doubt you guys will be banging the drum for this. What are we expecting?
Well, listen, if we get anything like we got last time, we're in for a treat, aren't we? Because, I think it was an unbelievable fight. Whatever way you want to look at it, what both guys done in that ring, what they left in the ring, was phenomenal. So, I've always been a fan
of... for all the noise they made.
I've always been wanting... I've been a fan of wanting to see it again, and I think that, look, we get it again.
Round 13, Spencer.
Absolutely.
The 12 rounds were absolutely ferocious, phenomenal, whatever you say about the build-up, about the rights, the wrongs, it was a great fight.
The tragedy of it is that there's so little enthusiasm besides the boxing fraternity. I know there were 71,000 people in America watching the fight, but from the British boxing audience, they were sort of ambivalent towards the fight we watched on the weekend. There was an ambivalence towards Better Biv and Bivol. And then you've got these two guys that have never won anything, and because there's notoriety, it's huge. That's something wrong with the ecosystem, isn't there?
It's not. It's because of
their characters, their personalities. It's a story. There's history. There's legacy.
So what do we expect difference in this promotion?
It's an event, isn't it? It's an event, Simon. Well, you're not going to get a bigger event. You're not going to get a bigger event than Eubank and Benn.
Grow up, Simon.
Because of the legacies.
Just because you don't like it.
Are you going to go to this one, by the way?
No, right?
Okay, come on.
Come on, Simon.
Are we going to see anything different? I mean, they've told every bleeding story they can tell now. Yeah. Are we expecting to see Eubank Senior coming out with something vaguely interesting?
Who knows? There's going to be twists and turns.
There's 2 words of the week he's learned.
Yeah, no,
I think look, they're both big characters, aren't they? And there will be twists and turns, that's for sure. We don't know. Expect the unexpected is probably the best way to put it. And,
let's enjoy it.
Who do you expect to be in ascendancy in the press conferences? Because I think it's fair to say that Eubank Jr.
is brilliant.
Bossed the press conferences.
He's brilliant.
Took all the promoters' pants down and smacked their backsides.
He was great.
And pretty much landed most of the blows, literally and metaphorically, on Conor Benn. You expect the same dynamics in the
He was great in the build-up, and he was great in the last 3-4 rounds of the fight to win it.
I'm expecting the same as well. I think that Eubank is a master at that. I think he controls press conferences. He knows what he's got to do when he gets in the ring. Size is always going to be on his side. And you go, I'm expecting a similar thing if I...
It'd be fun with him and Eddie, won't it?
It'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant. I mean, he's the best salesman ever.
Is the best salesman on the planet.
Be interesting to see what narrative they find, because they've done it now, and they've done that. Eddie's been smacked and told to shut up, not going to sit in the same press conference. People have been called scumbags, and promoters have been done this and whatever else. It's going to be interesting to see how they are inventive and they are innovative. As far as the fight's concerned, I mean, I'm trying to read what the producers put down here, which is ultimately that Chris Eubank Jr. will be off trying to fight Canelo, really, as a live one. How do we see the outcome? Do we see it going the same way? Do we see it being somewhat different? I mean, who's the benefit? Who gained most from that first fight? Conor Benn's reputation has gone up, but I never thought Conor wasn't going to be game.
The inactivity that Conor had sort of in the build-up to that fight would not have done him any favours. The moving up in weight would not have done him any favours.
What I'm
going to say is I think he's going to be better in this fight, Conor Benn. But I also believe that Eubank will be better in this fight as well.
It's a few months down the road. Eubank's getting a little older. The weight was so tight. First time round, I'd like to have seen it made at a slightly higher weight for Eubank Jr. That worries me a tad for Eubank, maybe down the stretch this time.
Well, let him rehydrate and take £1 million clause off.
I think Conor Benn will be more fired up, and I think he goes into it with more confidence. So I think he's seen as having a better chance.
Where do wins leave either one of them?
What do you think? What changes?
Nah, Conor Benn can't change.
What changes?
Nothing.
Has Conor Benn got to make to win this?
He can't change. He can't fight any other way. He's too small.
What do you expect from Eubank?
Exactly the same as what he's just done.
And that will be enough?
And that'll be more than enough.
There were times when Conor Benn had a real chance. I thought 4, 5, 6 rounds. I thought he's really in this, but Eubank pulled it off down the championship rounds.
So are you saying that in your mind's eye, Duke, forget about it, close your eyes, pause for a second, no way Conor Benn wins this fight?
I don't know how he's not going to knock Eubank out, is he? He didn't have him hurt have him hurt in their first fight to a point where the referee was going to stop the fight or even took a look at him or anything like that. Don't really think the outcome's going to be any different.
Eubank's had a harder career, a longer career, and this time, I think, will benefit Conor Benn.
No, I think Eubank will come better prepared this time than he was last time, because I think that...
Is he just a better fighter, Eubank?
He may have just underestimated Conor's ability and punch power at that level.
Is he a better fighter, Eubank?
He's a better fighter than Conor Benn,
Yes.
And he wins again?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where does the winner losers go quickly? I mean, do we see Conor? I mean, we saw Barrios fight Manny Pacquiao, and we think to ourselves, there's an opportunity for Conor Benn there.
We see Conor Benn now with an opportunity for the
Crocker.
IBF welterweight title with Lewis Crocker.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
he got a call for that in Belfast on Saturday
By the way,
night.
if you're ever going to want a world title opportunity, that's a great one for him.
Yeah, there was a lot of call for that Saturday in Belfast after the Crocker-Donovan fight.
Well, absolutely. I mean, me specifically reverted to type by picking Paddy Donovan. So we've got another British world champion in Lewis Crocker.
Do you think Crocker won the fight?
I think it was nip and tuck. But I certainly didn't. I didn't expect Crocker to be in this fight in the way that he was. I thought Paddy Donovan would have his number.
If you take the knockdown in the third and the knockdown in the fifth, by the way, he was really badly hurt. Donovan in the fifth. Thank his lucky stars that the bell rang at the time it did, because he would have probably got stopped. But if you take those 2 knockdowns away, where do you give him any rounds?
He readjusted Paddy Donovan, and I thought he did enough.
I think Donovan done enough. I think Crocker was quite fortunate to get that decision.
Tactics were fantastic from Crocker, but with Billy Nelson, those first 6 rounds, I think that spooked Team Donovan. But I thought Paddy, when he had the knockdowns, he came back. I thought he boxed really well last half of the fight. It was close, as Simon said, but for me, Donovan should have got it. But listen, hats off to Lewis Crocker. Great champion, lovely guy.
Absolutely.
And let him have the victory this time. Paddy will be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, that's it for episode 138. Thanks, boys. And we'll see you guys next time we're out.